On today's episode, we have Emma Buttigieg coming on. Emma is a mindset coach and she's written a book on manifestation. This is a super interesting episode for me, and we talk about how we can be the creators of our own realities. This is by really deciding what we want in our lives, how we want to feel when we have that thing, and then it's aligning our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions with those things to become the creators of our own reality. So in this episode today, we're making a really easy chia pudding recipe because this is my inspired action towards the reality that I desire. So this is a super easy recipe, and I like to leave it overnight because I just throw it all together and then in the morning I can eat it. So we have about 2 to 3 tablespoons of chia. We have some nuts that we're gonna roughly chop on top, and we've got a cup of canned coconut milk. And then we're gonna top it with a mango. So we wanna leave the chia seeds overnight. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna combine the chia seeds together with a cup of coconut milk. And then with the texture, we can always just play around and see. It might end up being a little bit thick, and then we can just water it down with any milk that we desire. So with this base, you can add anything you want to it. If you want to make it a high protein meal, you can add collagen, because collagen really smoothly mixes into this. You can also add any flavor of protein powder that you want. You can add a little bit of honey, a little bit of vanilla extract, or even any spices that you want. But I just like mine plain, and I like to really enjoy my coconut with my mango. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna mix it all together like this, and then we're just gonna pop it in the fridge overnight. So this is one I prepped overnight, and I'm just gonna use this, and I'm gonna pop the ingredients on top of it now. So then I'm just gonna pop it into some of the cups. You can put this into mason jars, you can put this into a Tupperware if you wanted, but I like to just pop my chia pudding at the bottom, and then I top it with my ingredients. And then I'm just gonna roughly chop some walnuts and some cashews to place on top, because these are just gonna add a little bit more fiber. I mean, not that you already need it with the chia pudding, but it's gonna add a little bit more fiber, a little bit more protein, and a lot of those healthy fats that come from nuts and seeds. Again, you can use any nuts and seeds you have. And I just like these because they add a nice little crunch, and I'm all about textures. So there you have it, a super easy breakfast or snack recipe. Hi Emma, thank you so much for being with me today.
Hi Amber, I'm actually so excited to be here.
This has been a long time coming because I wanted to have this conversation with you for ages.
It is very true.
Yeah. So we're here and we're in beautiful nature, and this kind of brings up this topic for me around how we can be the creators of our own realities. And I want to know from your standpoint, are we actually the creators of our own reality?
We definitely are, and this is something that I don't think, but I know. So basically, we are always creating our reality, whether we accept it, acknowledge it, or are aware of it. The only difference is that some people are consciously creating their reality, whereas others are unconsciously creating their reality. But whatever side you look at it, you're still creating your reality itself. So
even if you're sleepwalking through life.
Literally. Even if you're on autopilot, you're literally just recreating the same things.
Yeah. And I've had these moments where I have been working with the two, right? Being the creator and then being on autopilot. And I've had these moments where I've stopped and paused and been like, oh, I've been asleep. Like I've noticed so viscerally that I have been on autopilot for the last, I don't know, day or the last however long. So what is that turning point where we can start to realize that we are on the autopilot? Maybe what are those symptoms? What is someone in their life experiencing when they are on autopilot?
The same repeated patterns, the same repeated thought processes. Maybe being caught in a cycle where the same thing keeps happening to them. That's when people need to start reflecting and maybe ask themselves, well, does this keep happening? What loop am I stuck in? Now, obviously, when it comes to being on autopilot, this obviously stems from the subconscious mind. It is a sort of programming that is instilled with us, which basically determines how we're operating. So when we are in autopilot, we're literally recreating the same thing all the time. So it takes a little bit of self-awareness to really stop and think, okay, I'm repeating the same pattern, the same thing keeps happening to me. Why is it? What am I putting out there that is actually reflecting back to me?
Which is like kind of the tricky part, right? Because that's like, we don't realize that a lot of the time, well, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like over 95% of your daily thoughts are coming from the subconscious mind, right?
That is correct.
So I think we don't even notice like how much of that we are playing into like this victim consciousness, where we believe that the outside world is happening to us versus we are in the driving seat.
That is very correct. So something that I always like to say is you have to treat the life, your life, everything that is outside of you as a mirror. So when you look at the mirror and there's something that you don't like, do you change the mirror, or do you change the smile or the expression that you're giving towards the mirror? So life is actually the same. I look at it in the same way. It's simply a reflection of what is going on within you. And I don't know if you've heard of like the red car theory before. Yeah. So it's basically this phenomenon that happens that every time you want a new car, you suddenly start seeing it everywhere. And actually what is actually happening is that you think now that it is important. So our brain has this thing, or the way it operates is through a reticular activating system. And it's actually really curious because we are constantly receiving 11 million bits of information, but to our conscious mind, we only receive 40 to 50 bits. And that is literally based on what you think is important. So that is filtered by your limiting beliefs, your programming, the way that you have been brought up, what you think is important to you or not. And it is that phenomenon itself that is actually creating your experience, which is your reality. So that's exactly how it sort of works, and how the mirror reflection, how people have to start seeing their life in that way.
And I can be a testament to this. Like recently, especially in the last year, I've been going even deeper into this, and this whole concept of like everything being a mirror has really shown me myself, and like that, a lot of that shadow, right, and a lot of those limiting beliefs that we are running on unconsciously. And I think even as a consciously aware person, like so much of these are so programmed, and a lot of it is ours and a lot of it is not ours.
Yeah, for sure. And it happens. I see a lot of people, especially like in my coaching practice, where they like to unconsciously hold themselves the victim. And people don't really understand that our very own triggers, we're always very quick to put our hands up, because this person has done something to me. And again, it's everything outside of us, but we never really ask ourselves, well, why is this even affecting me in the first place? Why is this triggering this feeling within me? And that in itself can really make you self-aware and really think about the limiting beliefs that you are carrying, because at the end of the day, there's not really right or wrong, just perspective. And when you go through life thinking in that way, you are able to reflect and tell yourself, well, why is this really bothering me? What is it going against a particular belief that I carry? But is the belief that I carry a limiting belief? Is it right? Is it wrong? So when you are able to look at your triggers in that way, you are able to become a little bit more self-aware and redirect your reality towards another way, because at the end of the day, whatever's happening outside of you, you don't really have control over. So you have control over your reactions, your thoughts, your emotions, your triggers, even your automatic reactions that happen subconsciously. You have sort of like this control over that. And it's the only thing that you can control, especially your perspective. So again, it comes back to the whole mirror situation. If you don't like what you see, change the lens of which you are looking at with it. So that's along those lines.
And so like if someone is going to start looking at this mirror concept, is there something that you would recommend? Like I know for me, like journaling really helps, and then be like, oh, this thing has triggered me. What did this make me feel about myself? Like what is that insecurity that's triggering me, or what is this limiting belief that is triggering me? What's like kind of like someone who's really starting out, and they can start to do that to recognize that mirror a little bit more?
So something that I do a lot is journaling is very good, but I also practice like stepping out of my mind a lot, where I literally just observe my thoughts without any judgment. When you are able to do that and start noticing your inner critic, your inner voice talking, you are able to start to make a difference between who you are and that inner voice, which is, it's not you, but it is a part of you, and it is a programmed version of you. It is the voice of your bully at school, the voice of your parents, the voice of society. So when you are able to become a little bit more self-aware and identify that voice, then you are able to change it and say, oh, well, and then obviously question it and challenge the belief or whatever it is that inner critic is telling you, and start from there. I think awareness is actually something that's very, very important. You cannot reprogram something or replace something that you're not even aware of. And it's something that you shouldn't be scared of. I think a lot of people avoid shadow work because not everyone wants to bring up this dark, or what we would say is our inner demons. So it's something that we
brings
would
up a lot of
call
fear
them.
for many people.
Yeah, and it's not just one shadow. I think we have plenty of shadows, and it's really important to bring them to a surface so that then you are able to work with them rather than suppress them. And when you suppress something, you can't really change it. It comes with acceptance and awareness. Awareness is something that's very important.
And this is a really important conversation because I think a lot of us fear our own parts of ourselves, right? We fear all that discomfort in those emotions, maybe the shame, the self-anger, the hatred that comes with it. So I want you to really explain, if you can, like what is shadow work for people who don't understand?
So my perspective of shadow work is literally having this ability to go back in time and really reflect who you are, why you are the way that you are, why you carry certain beliefs, why you judge certain people or certain actions, why you believe the things that you believe. And journaling helps a lot with that because you are able to reflect, and it comes a lot. You need to do this by asking yourself a lot of questions. So going back in time, let's say you have this belief that you're not good enough. Go back in time and really ask yourself, when did this belief start? What past experience shaped that exact moment? And it's really sort of like digging deep, and like it's not something that you do in a day. I'm still doing shadow work. I am still unraveling pieces that I didn't even know.
We would be dead. Like, I really think that's part of our life mission, right?
It's part of evolving, but some people don't even do that. And it's, again, they're going through life unconsciously, thinking that life is happening to them without really realizing that they are literally creating their experience through their perception, and their perception is literally created by their subconscious, the lens through which they're seeing life, which is created by their shadows, their upbringing, etc. So yes, to be able to reprogram something, or a thought, a belief, a habit, you have to at first do the shadow work and really acknowledge the issue itself before anything.
So then my question to you is, like, do we start by just observing those triggers in our lives and feeling or noticing what's bringing up that emotional response and go from there and then reprogram it from that place?
Yes, that's very, very important, but it depends what it is that you're trying to achieve. So to be able to make a change, you need the shadow work, the self-awareness, the reflection, but you also need to ask yourself, where is it that you are going? So what do you want to achieve? What's the end result here? So it's very important to do the shadow work, but you also need to know where you're going. Again, manifestation isn't something that's magical or mystical. It's something that is created naturally, and it's envisioned as if you're sat down driving a vehicle, like you had told me before. You are driving the vehicle, but you need to know where you're going. So it's having this very clear vision of where you see yourself and the person that you want to become, the person that you want to embody, and then act and replace all these limiting beliefs that are actually taking you further away from where it is that you want to go. So the first thing I would say is really understand and do the shadow work as well when it comes to knowing what it is that you want, knowing why you want it, because the why that you carry behind it is literally going to be your fuel. Because again, you can't control how things happen, but you can control what is within you. And when you have a really strong enough why behind it, you are able to keep going even when things at times are not working in your favor. So it's that understanding what you want and the why, and as well, even I can go as far as saying knowing the feeling that you're trying to get from achieving whatever it is that you want to achieve. So a lot of people say, I want to have £1 million in my bank account, or I want to manifest a car. Yes, that's physical and that is materialistic things, but what feeling do you think achieving that thing is going to give you? We never really want the thing. We want the feeling we think that thing is going to give us, because at the end of the day, we don't take anything materialistic with us. But I hope and I'd love to believe that we do take whatever is within. So something that I say is manifestation isn't about the thing. It's about the becoming the version of you who can naturally attain and sustain the life and the things that you want to achieve. So a big mindset shift that I say a lot isn't how can I think my way to achieving this thing, but really shift it to what person do I need to become to have this thing.
So I think what you've mentioned is like, it's so important because it's again, it's not focusing on the material manifestation. It's not looking at what's in your physical reality, but it's really what is the personal evolution that someone is going on when they're embarking in a journey of becoming the creator of their own reality.
Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of people are under this perception that manifestation is about attaining these physical things outside of you, which it partly is, but it's not so much about that, but rather who do I need to become? And it's yeah, like you said, the evolution. Like, for I can give you an example. Let's say somebody wants to be a successful business owner, and they want this amount of visibility, success overnight. Are they the person that they need to be able to sustain it? So let's say you want to be a millionaire through your business and you are landed £1 million. Are you right now that person that you need to be able to not spend it, invest it adequately, take whatever risk you need to take it? Would you be scared of having it? Would you be confident enough to take these bold moves a business owner would do? So it's not so much about the thing, because we can manifest anything, but not everyone is able to sustain it and keep it. So it's about becoming the person, not getting the thing. That is secondary. It's more focusing about who do I need to be.
And I think this is like the whole concept of like, where is my identity with this?
Correct.
And this is something that I've been playing with in my personal journey this year. It's like, how do I need to keep elevating my identity to match the version of what I desire?
Yeah.
And so identity is this big concept, but I wanted you to go into the little branches of, again, like, how can we begin to rewire those limiting beliefs specifically? Because I think that is one of the crucial parts to this evolution.
So a lot of people think that you are fixed. So once you reach a certain point, you can't evolve anymore, and your brain actually shows now that through neuroplasticity, your brain is actually very, very flexible. So it will literally take 30 days to rewire a thought, a pattern, through neuroplasticity, where you create now new neurological pathways. So it can literally take 30 days of literally rampaging and affirming this new version of yourself. You can do this through affirmations, and you can also do it through visualization. Now, this is my favorite way of doing it, because through affirmations, you sort of just affirm, but you don't tap into the feeling. When you are able to visualize something, you are literally creating some sort of muscle memory. So it's like a mental rehearsal. So the more you visualize yourself believing this thing, being this person, you are literally creating familiarity with the version of you you want to become. The more you see yourself, the more you visualize it, the more familiar you are with it, the more you are able to take the step when the moment arises, the more confident you are. So personally, my go-to will always be visualization. It's something that I literally can't live without. It's how I've overcome the fear of public speaking, the fear of posting online, the fear of like really putting myself out there. I've literally done it all through visualization.
I mean, this is a well-known practice, right? We know that athletes use this. We know that like certain people, like really high-powering people. I actually did this once. I was going to do a corporate talk, my first ever, and I was so terrified. And I literally practiced this. I kept practicing seeing myself in that space, and it massively helped. And that's something that you're going to walk us through after this, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's something that I do every time I have a performance, a workshop, an interview. I used to do this years ago without even knowing performers, people who dance. It's actually a really good way, because it's just another form of rehearsing. And yeah, it's what you build familiarity with, and it's a great way to build familiarity, because subconsciously what your brain does and its prime function is literally to keep you safe in your comfort zone. It doesn't know what the difference between what is good for you, what is bad for you. So when you know this, by visualizing, you're creating familiarity with your subconscious mind. So when the moment comes, you are less nervous. You are show up more confidently. Why? Because you've been there already. I've done this. So it's really is a great tool for manifestation, and not just manifestation, just like mindset in general and achieving whatever it is that you want to achieve. Massive tool, highly recommend.
I love this. And I want to use it in the context because before we started filming, we were talking about perfectionism. And I think like just to tie it all in together, like this is a way that a lot of us self-sabotage. It's also that protective mechanism, that survival net mechanism that the brain uses. Like, so if I'm working on my perfectionism, what's a way that I can visualize myself out of this?
So you can literally visualizing yourself surrendering to the fact that people, maybe you don't need to be a perfectionist because that's not what people are looking for these days. And maybe visualizing yourself being confident and comfortable with your own ability to not be a perfectionist and just come do whatever it is that is literally flowing through. And especially we were talking about social media, and it's a catch-22 because we aim for perfection, but at the end of the day, people want to see real authenticity. And that's something that has really helped me portray and really allow myself to be more me online. So yeah, just visualize and really acknowledge and accept the fact that you don't need to be perfect. There's no such thing as perfect. It's a perspective.
Yeah.
What is perfect for you isn't perfect for me. So actually, it's not a universal truth.
Yeah.
So is it really perfect?
Rewiring the limiting belief in
Yeah,
itself,
exactly.
right? And I think this is all like stemming from those early life experiences, the need to control our surroundings and to receive love, right? And it's like noticing when we can go into that and we can feel safe, not being perfect within ourselves, like we are who we are performing for.
For sure.
And like finding safety in that.
I totally agree. Yeah.
I love that. So what is like a tip that you can send someone away if they're trying to manifest something physical or something emotional or something within their physical body into their reality now?
So I can give you 5 steps. Maybe, first of all, identify what you want. Identify the why. Identify the feeling that you're looking for. Identify the limiting beliefs that you are carrying that are stopping you from taking that step. It could be that you're not good enough. It could be that it's too difficult. It could be that money doesn't grow on trees. Whatever limiting belief that you carry, identify it, replace it, and then visualize and embody the feeling of being that it person already. And then obviously, very important, take the steps towards it.
That's beautiful.
Because I told you that visualization was literally my favorite technique, I am literally going to guide you now for the next 3 minutes through a guided visualization, where you're literally going to embody this person that you would like to become. So all we need is 3 minutes of uninterrupted time. So when you're ready, take a deep breath in through your nose, hold it, and a slow exhale. Another deep breath in, hold it, and another short exhale. Deep breath in, hold it, and exhale, and feel your body relax. Make sure your eyes are closed, and I want you to visualize yourself in a grand cinema. You can feel the red carpet beneath you. You can smell the lingering popcorn, and you're slowly making your way into the theater. You can see the red seats, and you're slowly making your way to find the perfect seat. You sit down, and right in front of you, you have big red curtains. And as they open, you see your future self. What is this person wearing? What is she saying? Is she celebrating something? What is this person doing? How is this person feeling? What are you celebrating? Where are you? Who is with you? What is around you? Take a deep breath in and exhale. This isn't any version of you. This is your future version of you. And as you see the image fade, just know that this person is now within you. You carry this person with you everywhere that you go.
If you enjoyed this episode and you want to become a creator of your own reality, you can reach out to Emma. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.